Today's story is from the classic treasury of princess fairy tales. I will be reading The Frog Prince. There was once a princess who loved to walk through the woods by herself, playing with a golden ball that was her favorite toy. She would throw it in the air and run to catch it before it touched the ground. One day, she threw the ball so high that it fell a long way off. She followed it as it rolled among the trees, until she heard a splash as it landed in the water of a deep spring. She looked into the water, but she could not see it. She sat down sadly on the bank and began to cry. Oh, if only I could get my ball back! I would give all of my clothes, even my jewels, just to play with it again. At that moment, a frog's head appeared above the water. Dear princess, said the frog, why are you crying? Because I've lost my ball in the spring, replied the princess. And what can you do about it, you slimy thing? I can find it for you, said the frog. But if I do, you must promise to love me and let me share what you eat off your golden plate. And you must let me sleep on your bed. The princess thought that this was a very silly thing for the frog to say. She knew he couldn't even get out of the water, never mind make his way to her palace. The princess wanted her golden ball so much that she agreed to give him what he asked. Then he quickly put his head under water and dived to the bottom of the spring. He returned with the ball in his mouth and threw it onto the bank. The princess picked up her ball and ran away from the spring, never thinking of the frog nor hearing him say, Wait for me, princess, you promised. She played with her ball all day. When evening came, she sat down to dinner with her father. Before they had started to eat, the princess heard a strange noise. Plop, plop, as if something were coming up the marble stair outside. Then there was a knock on the door. A voice said, Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door, for your true love is here. Remember the promise you made to me when we met by the spring near the greenwood tree. The princess opened the door. There was the frog, whom she had forgotten. She shivered with fright and shut the door. Whatever is the matter? Asked the king. There is a slimy frog sitting outside the door, said the princess. He got my ball out of the spring this morning. I told him he could share what I eat off my golden plate and sleep on my bed. But I didn't think he could get out of the water. And now he is here and wants to come in. There was another knock at the door, and a voice repeated, Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door, for your true love is here. Remember the promise you made to me when we met by the spring near the greenwood tree. The king looked at his daughter and said sadly, If you made a promise, then you have to keep it. So the princess opened the door and the frog came in. Plop, plop. He hopped to the princess's place at the table. Please put me on a chair by your side, he said. Next, he asked her to move her golden plate so that he could share her dinner. When he had eaten his fill, the frog said, I am so tired. Please take me upstairs and put me on your bed. He slept on a pillow until dawn came. Then he jumped onto the floor and hopped all the way out of the palace. The princess was glad that he had gone and believed that she would never see him again. But she was wrong. That night, he knocked again on her door. She heard again his plaintive voice. Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door, for your true love is here. Remember the promise you made to me when we met by the spring near the greenwood tree. So she let him in. Once more, he slept on a pillow in her bed. The third night, all happened as before, but on the third morning, she woke up to find that the frog had disappeared. At the foot of her bed, standing so still and gazing at her, was a young man. "Where have you come from?" she asked. "I am the frog who frightened you," he said. "I am so sorry, but I was under a spell put on me by a fairy who did not like me. I knew the spell could only be broken if I found a princess who would let me share what she ate off of her golden plate and sleep on her bed for 3 nights. And I had the good fortune to find you. If you will now come with me to my father's kingdom, we can be married and love each other for as long as we live." And that is what they did.